Good morning, everybody. It's around 8:30 in the morning on a Saturday morning. I just fed my kids and I went out to make a video for you fine ladies and gentlemen of the Palantir community. Palantir finished Friday at $20.50, and this commemorates not a 52-week high, but a 104-week high. This is literally the high for the last 2 years. A lot of people are not realizing this and not paying attention. And the question that we had at hand from the most bullish and, of course, the most bearish holders or sideliners of Palantir, including retail, institutional, and just analysts, is: should you be buying? Should you be selling? Or should you be doing nothing when it comes to Palantir stock? In this video, I'm going to try to explain to you exactly what I am doing with Palantir. Some people are calling Palantir to go to $10. Some people are calling Palantir to go to $200. And I've been covering Palantir for quite a while. So I'm going to be giving you guys the honest truth and my personal opinion, not financial advice as always, of what I am doing in Palantir with Palantir. And then I'm going to give you some bullish and bearish arguments from people inside and outside of the community when it comes to Palantir. We also have some huge news that's actually bullish for Palantir for ChatGPT. Sam Altman got fired from his own company, and this leads to a huge debate over the internet right now of what the heck is going on with AI, because ChatGPT, whether you agree with it or not, is AI. That is the face of AI. This is one of the reasons why Palantir is growing, because ChatGPT made AI known to a wider audience. So I'm going to go over all of that in this video. Can I please ask you for a favor? Just sit back, relax, enjoy yourself. But in the comments down below, please let me know what you guys are doing with Palantir. Are you buying? Are you selling? Are you trading? Are you doing absolutely nothing? And are you hedging using options? And in return, I will tell you my personal plays when it comes to Palantir, and they are a little bit more complex. I have a lot of shares of Palantir, and I have a lot of different plays to gain or sell Palantir. I'll leave that towards the end of this video. So sit back, relax, enjoy. This is a tweet from Chris Patel. If you remember Chris Patel, he has such a love and hate relationship with Palantir. He's been absolutely knocking it out of the park with every single call that he's been making in the stock market, except for Palantir. He just seems not to be able to get it right when it comes to Palantir. And I think this really makes him mad. By the way, Chris, you owe me $2,000 at the end of this year. We have a bet for $2,000. It's going to be very interesting to see what's going to be happening. And Chris comes out with a Palantir short thesis, which is very interesting for somebody that's no longer in the Palantir community. It seems like Chris comes up with a Palantir short thesis, a bearish thesis, every single time Palantir is able to break through a resistance level. If I'm not mistaken, Chris sold at like $15 a share. And Chris also sold earlier on when he didn't like the earnings. I don't know exactly what it is, but 100% respect to Chris. I'm going to give you his bear case thesis, and then I'm going to put a counter argument out there. He says Palantir generated close to $36 million in interest income last quarter. If rates go down, that income goes bye-bye, and you need to replace it with real income from operations and not just interest on cash and cash-like securities. On top of this, the growth is slowing down significantly, and spend on corporate side that should also decline, thus making it harder to make money. In what world does today's valuation make sense? If you're long Palantir at these prices, good luck. And what he's talking about is this line right here where it says interest income right here, 36,864,000. And if you want to compare that to quarter 2022, which was a year ago, it was only 5.5 million. And to this, I'm going to say Chris has a point when it comes to that. If you look at the earnings, by the way, this is visualstocks.com. 100% you guys have to sign up to this website. It's absolutely amazing. It is run and produced and made by Alejandro. And if you look at this chart right here, this is their net income right here. Boom. Now, if you're going to go to quarter 3 of 2022, they were losing $123 million. Then in quarter 4, they are profitable for $30 million. Then they're profitable for $16 million. Then last quarter, profitable for $28 million. And even though their interest is $36 million, they still came out to make $71 $1 million. So they obviously are gap profitable more than just the cash investments, short-term securities, so on and so forth. So what Chris is saying is right. I don't disagree with him. However, there is a second side to this story. The second side to this story is quite simple. Yes, if you are invested in Palantir, Palantir is making a lot of their gap profitability, let's say 50% for now, through short-term investments, cash-like securities. And if that happens, they're not going to be making as much money if interest rates start going down. This is true. However, interest rates are not just going to be going down out of nowhere for the next, let's say, 3 to 6 months. Maybe in 6 months from here, second half of 2024, sure. But we have a good 6 months not to worry about that and let the company grow. Also, as interest rates is going down, the cash and cash on hand of Palantir is going up. And although they have a $1 billion buyback of shares, the cash and cash on hand for Palantir is still going up every single quarter. I believe we're at 3.3 billion right now. So as interest rates is going down, they also are getting more cash to invest to counterbalance that. That's one. But two, as interest rates are going down, a lot of people are going to start investing into the stock market. A lot of people invest, whether it's good or bad, on margin. And people don't want to invest on margin when Robinhood and Webull and all these, platforms are charging you 8% interest. So as interest is going to go down and people are going to be able to use margin at 5 and 6% and 4%, I don't know how, the lower the interest goes down and the less money Palantir is able to make on their short-term investments. Also, the more people are going to start investing, not necessarily specifically for Palantir, but in general as a whole. But that then leads us to the S&P 500. Now, people might not specifically be investing into Palantir, but they might be investing into an ETF of the S&P 500. And since they're investing into those ETFs and Palantir is now going to be part of that ETF, that is going to raise the interest and the buy pressure on Palantir. So that's my counter argument to what Chris said. And Chris's argument is legit. It's valid. It's not, some bear case thesis he pulled out of his ass. It's valid. However, there is a counter argument to his argument, which I just made. And I wanted to just bring that up because, again, this is going to be a little bit of a longer video. The good, the bad, the ugly, positive, negatives. At the end of the day, I'm going to be as honest as possible in this video. And that is going to be negative and positive when it comes to Palantir. Now, there is an investment firm. This investment firm is called Cote. I don't know how to, pronounce them. And they are one of the leading investors in technology. And they put out this awesome report in November, the AI revolution. And they have some amazing charts, but this says, where are we in AI today? And there's 115 pages. Now, Arnie, shout out to Arnie Investing. If you don't follow him, you should definitely follow him. And he's the one that made me aware of this. So then I went into the actual article, the report, to look at this. So they're saying that we're in day one of artificial intelligence. So these are the last revolutions, right? You had internet, then you had smartphones, and now you have AI right here. As internet was starting to, slow down the growth, then you had smartphones. Now smartphones are starting to level out and coming down. And right, if you track it down, you have right here the artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence is just taking off. Why is this important? Artificial intelligence is literally the backbone of Palantir right now. But Palantir has been in artificial intelligence for over a decade. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. Palantir AIP is just the known artificial intelligence, but they've been at this for quite a while. Now, in the first half of 2023, the AI ecosystem exploded. This is, by the way, this is to answer, where is more investment going to happen to Palantir? How is Palantir going to grow? Well, the total addressable market of AI is going to grow to $2 to $15 trillion by 2030. Compound annual growth rate of like 30% plus, depending on which, article you want to read, depending on what prediction you want to listen to. It's absolutely massive. Well, Palantir is going to be getting a lot of that money, not only in the private sector, but also in the government sector, both military and non-military. So as this grows, Palantir grows as well. This is ChatGPT, absolutely freaking took off. NVIDIA 2Q earnings absolutely freaking took off, right? Estimates was 7 billion, they made 11 billion. Where's this coming from? This is coming from artificial intelligence. AI basket performance year to date, these are like all the AI related stocks, up 60%, right? In the first half of 2023, the AI ecosystem absolutely exploded. Percent of trading GitHub's repos for machine learning and artificial intelligence absolutely just shooting up. New AI applications over that time absolutely shooting up. And number of models on Hugging Face absolutely shooting up. You don't need to know what all of this is. I don't know what all of this is. All I know is that all of these charts are absolutely shooting up, and that's where they're getting this from. So for anybody that's saying, hey, how is Palantir going to grow? How is their valuation valid or not? And I'm not yet saying if it's valued, fairly valued, undervalued, or overvalued. I'm just giving a bear and bull case, right? The bear case is Palantir is super valued already. Everything has to go right, and they can't grow anymore. The bull case is saying, well, the total addressable market for what Palantir is doing right now is just starting and it's about to explode. And Palantir is going to take full advantage of this. They're literally at the forefront of this AI revolution. You know, I invest in cryptocurrency. One cryptocurrency that I invest in is Hadara H bar. And Lehman Baird, who's the founder and one of the brightest minds, he headed the nuclear program for the United States military for quite a while. He's a computer scientist, very, very bright individual. Just he's a genius. And one thing, somebody asked him about artificial intelligence and machine learning, and what does he feel about that? And literally, he said, it is nothing like the industrial revolution is nothing compared to what machine learning and artificial intelligence is and will be hitting the future. So if you believe this, that AI is growing at a crazy pace compared to smartphones and internet, Palantir is right where they're supposed to be. And the total addressable market is going to keep growing. And with Palantir artificial intelligence boot camps, right, AIP boot camps, I think they're in prime position to get a shit ton of customers. Now, they don't need to wine and dine the U.S. military. The U.S. military just gave them a $250 million contract literally for research and development in artificial intelligence and machine learning. You got the JADC, which is modernization in artificial intelligence and machine learning of the United States military and the United States military allies, countries. I believe currently a form of JADC is being used in Israel. That's how they're able to coordinate airstrikes being called in instantaneously from the ground at certain locations, and they're literally shooting within dozens of feet, 50 feet, 100 feet from their soldiers on the ground. So they're hitting critical targets, but not affecting our assets. Very interesting. And this is something that the US military is going to keep developing. Well, guess what? Who's going to be developing it? Who's the backbone of this? It is Palantir. Whether you like it or not, you think we're a clown stock, it is Palantir. As a matter of fact, Palantir literally started FedStart to allow other startups to work with the US military, piggybacking off of Palantir's connections, know-how, so on and so forth. So the growth of Palantir, although right now you might look at it and be like, wow, it's maxed out. Well, this circle where you're maxed out right now can grow to be boom, 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 an absolute freaking monster, and nobody knows where it goes. But based on a lot of reports, whether you believe it or not, this market is going to grow tremendously. The thing is, Palantir is not just in one market. Again, they're in 50 industries and 50 sub-industries, right? Like it's a ridiculous amount. I used to go on their website 2 years ago, there used to be like 20 things on their website. Now they're in 50 different industries, and they're growing super fast in certain industries like healthcare, right? So the growth potential of Palantir is exactly that. The pie is just going to get so much bigger. Now, speaking about artificial intelligence and speaking about the pie, of course, we have to talk about ChatGPT. This is a message from Greg Brockman. If you don't know who Greg Brockman is, he was the president and co-founder of OpenAI. If you guys know, Sam Altman, who was the other co-founder of OpenAI, got fired from OpenAI. He has to step down. Sam Altman right here. So Greg says, hi, everyone. I'm super proud of what we've all built together since starting in my apartment 8 years ago. We've been through tough and great times together, accomplishing so much despite all the reasons. It should have been impossible, but based on today's news, I quit. Genuinely wishing you all nothing but the best. I continue to believe in the mission of creating safe AGI that benefits all humanity. Very, very interesting. So, Cheyenne, and I'll go into this. So, this guy, Jason, I don't even know who this guy is. So, he puts out this tweet. Mr. Altman's departure follows a deliberative review process by the board, which concluded that he was not consistently candid in the communications with the board, hindering its ability to exercise its responsibilities. The board no longer has confidence in his ability to continue leading OpenAI. And then Shyam Sankar, who's our CTO, says, is this the first sparks of AGI? Now, AGI stands for artificial generative intelligence, which is very, very interesting, right? So where does this lead us right now? So you have Sam Altman, who was the leader of OpenAI, highly respected in the industry, supposedly. He gets fired from his own company. His number two or his co-founder quits. And this is actually really good for Palantir because Microsoft just came out with Microsoft Fabric that's supposed to compete with Palantir, essentially Palantir Foundry. And I'm sure they're going to stack it with ChatGPT from OpenAI, like Palantir Foundry is stacked with Palantir AIP. This is not great. Okay, so nobody knows why. So there's a rumor that this happened because he was giving away ChatGPT, that you can make your own ChatGPTs for free. Some people are saying that he was stealing data. Nobody knows exactly. I think we're going to know in the future, but honestly, whatever you guys think you know, we don't know. Okay. But this is positive for Palantir because this is a, crack in the armor of not a direct competitor, but a competitor nonetheless, somebody in the space, which makes Palantir even more valuable because they don't keep your data, they don't have your data, they don't have access to your data, they don't sell your data, they don't review your data, so on and so forth, et cetera, et cetera. We've been saying this so many times again and again and again. This is very positive for Palantir. Also, Palantir has something called Class F shares. Class F shares means that you cannot fire our CEOs, right? You can't fire Alex Karp. He can do what he wants. Some people say it's good, some people say it's bad. Again, Chris Patel, a couple of other people said that, they should fire Alex Karp. He shouldn't be here. Bro, he brought the company from nothing 20 years ago to a 40-something billion-dollar company today. Think about that. Whether you agree with him or not, he did something absolutely massive, guys. This is absolutely freaking massive. So what's bad for ChatGPT, not the program, but the inconsistencies and the fear, the FUD, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt is actually really good for Palantir. So I want to show you actually one more thing. Check this out. This is TradingView. Right now, Palantir is up 211%. Okay, Palantir is up 211%. This is absolutely freaking massive. I mean, look at this chart. It's beautiful. Now, if you're going to go to year-to-date returns for this is the S&P 500 component year-to-date. So you have this one company, Fisher, I don't know who they are, whatever. And then you have NVIDIA, 237%. Right on NVIDIA's ass is Palantir. So if Palantir was already in the S&P 500, Palantir would be the third best performing stock by a mile, right? By a mile. After that, you have Meta, that's 180%. You have Royal Caribbean, 113%, and that's it. Nobody even breaks the 100%. So Palantir would have been absolutely rocking and rolling, and Palantir will benefit huge from S&P 500 inclusion. A lot of money will be coming into Palantir to counterbalance that argument from Chris. So it's going to be extremely interesting. And I just wanted to show you guys, look, we're at $20.50. The last time that we were at $20.50 was right around this November mark. And we were on a downtrend, right? We were going down. We went from like 28 all the way down. And now we're right at that $20.50. It's going to be really, really interesting. So now, a lot of people are asking, well, Adam, that's all fine and dandy, but do you sell your Palantir or do you not sell your Palantir? So for me, I have several Palantir portfolios. So I am not selling my shares of Palantir, okay? One strategy I did was sell a covered call for Palantir at a $40 strike for June 2024. That means that if Palantir hits $40 for June 21st, 2024, I am going to sell. And at that point, I would not even be mad. I would be super happy to make my $40 because I literally Forexed my money in this specific portfolio, which I'll show you in just a moment. I would not even be mad. That would be a shit ton of money, which I'll show you in just a moment. Now, I don't think Palantir is going to hit $40 a share, but even if it does, how much more can it hit? And do you think it won't be overvalued? If Palantir hits $40 in June, I don't even understand what can possibly happen to Palantir to justify $40 a share. Like, I don't even understand it. So that's one way to play Palantir. Let me show you what I'm talking about because most people have no idea what I'm talking about when it comes to options. This is something that I do talk about a lot on my channel. For my channel members, if you guys want to become channel members, there's going to be a link down below if this is something that you guys are interested in. This is my account. I currently have 535,000 in the public account. The public account is doing quite well. I'm very, very happy about that. All right, guys, this is my actual call. This is for Palantir, PLTR, $40 strike, which means that if it hits $40, I am going to sell it. And I have 132 contracts, which means each contract is 100 shares. That means that I have 13,200 shares on this right now. All right, cool. So these are my shares of Palantir. There goes my 13,200 shares. The total market cap for market value is $271,000. So if Palantir goes to $40, I will be having around $540,000 in this account. I would not even be mad. I would sell and be extremely, extremely happy. And now I just want to show you something. If you're going to go to sell a call and then go to that same play that I was just talking about in June 21st, 2024, and if you go to a $40 strike, you would be getting 53 cents per share. So let's say you have 1,000 shares. A lot of people have 1,000 shares. You would collect $519 for every 1,000 shares that you have. Okay? For every 1,000 shares, you'd be collecting $519. And you are literally saying that I'm willing to sell Palantir for $40 on or before June 21st if it hits. Now, if it does not hit, you collect this premium and you don't have to sell. If it does hit, you collect the premium and you have to sell. That's it. You're going to collect your $40. This is one way to minimize your risk because if Palantir goes all the way up, you're good. If Palantir drops to $10 or $15, you're still good because you collected a shit ton of premium. And the chances of you actually making this is around 95%. So 95% in your favor, 94.68%. Now, the question that everybody's asking is, Adam, besides for locking up your shares until June 21st, which is exactly what I did with that $40 strike, showing people that I am bullish and I don't want to sell my shares. I do have other portfolios and I do something called a wheel strategy. Now, this wheel strategy works really well with that $20 beautiful price of Palantir, which seems to be a magnet. Yes, Palantir can go to 21, 22, 23. Palantir can also go to 19, 18, 17. Either one would not shock, right, the Palantir community. So what I'm doing is I have covered calls that says that I'm going to sell Palantir at $20, at $19.50, at $20.50, at $21, whatever. I collect a sick premium on that. And then I use that premium to reinvest. And if I get called and I have to sell my shares at, let's say, $20, I'm just going to put in a cash secured put the following Monday for $19.50. So whatever I have to sell at, I rebuy 50 cents lower and I add additional shares. I've been doing this for quite a while. Usually I sell covered calls 20% out of the money, but at $20 mark, I don't sell 20% out of the money. I sell right on the money, plus or minus. And this is extremely lucrative because I get to collect my premium, as I just showed you. The premium is ridiculous right now. And if I get assigned, I'm not so mad because I know that at $20, we are pretty much fully valued. And I would say that at $20, we are overvalued, which means I'm not running to sell my shares, but I am very excited to be able to accumulate more shares. Let me rephrase. I am using the assignments to buy more shares because I repurchase my shares at a 50 cent lower price. And whatever that 50% lower price is, I add and accumulate more shares. Now, it is possible that Palantir is not going to drop and I get assigned at 20, let's say, for example, and I'm looking to rebuy at 1950, but Palantir never hits 1950 again. That's okay because I'm still collecting my premium the entire time and I have other accounts where I locked up my Palantir. But although it is a dangerous game, I do believe that Palantir is going to drop below the $20 mark. I don't think that it's going to sustain $20. I don't think $20 is the floor to Palantir. I also don't think Palantir is going to be going to $14, $15. I think Palantir can go to $17, $18, $19, $20 again. Absolutely. I think it can drop down there. It can bounce back up, go back up, so on and so forth. Now, Palantir has an 8% short interest. Anything under 10% is not a huge short interest, but 8% is getting there. It's pretty massive. So a lot of people are betting against Palantir. Now, if you bet against Palantir, either you double down or you cover your shorts. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. There's also sell pressure from insiders. There's also sell pressure from venture capitalists like Founders Fund from Peter Thiel, right? He was one of the founders. He is the founder of Palantir. And even they are taking profits at $20. They're not selling their entire portfolio. But so to answer everyone's question, no, I'm not selling my Palantir because at the end of the day, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know. But what I am doing is locking up a large part of my portfolio where I'm saying, hey, I'm not selling shit. And that $40 strike price is me saying I'm not selling shit. And then taking advantage of that $20 magnet, and it is a magnet to be able to collect premiums up, collect premiums down. That means you're selling covered calls and you're selling cash secured puts. If you don't get assigned, you just keep selling covered calls, cash secured puts. If you do get assigned, you do a wheel strategy. So you're collecting premiums every single week, either up or down, and taking advantage. If the price does drop, you just accumulate more shares. That's my current strategy. This is the strategy that I share with my channel members in lives and videos. And if you guys want to learn this strategy, this is called a wheel strategy. Please feel free to become channel members down below. It's $3 a month. You buy me a cup of coffee. And I talk about a lot of other stuff besides for just that strategy. Guys, I know this is a really long video, but Palantir to the moon. We should be celebrating. We should be happy. And regardless of what happens with the price, we reached a 2-year, 52-week high. Don't expect Palantir to run to the moon and become $200 a share, $100 a share overnight. This is a long-term hold for me for Palantir. I would love Palantir to hit $8 trillion market cap. Now, people say, Adam, when are you going to sell your shares? Everything has to, see what's happening in the market. But honestly, I would love to hold my shares until at least $50 a share, because at $50 a share, that's when my type of life can change. Now, I would love to hold to $100 a share and beyond, but at the very least, I would like to hold until $50. But everything can change in life, right? I'm just giving you guys an arbitrary number if you guys need to see like a North Star type of number. Yeah, that's where I'm at right here, and we'll see what's going to happen. It's super, super duper excited. I am bullish as ever for Palantir. Palantir to the moon. Fuck your puts, as per Dr. Alex Karp. And we have a lot more news, a lot more summits. And if you think the spending is going to go down from the military, you are absolutely wrong. When Trump comes in, spending from the military is going to go up, up, baby. Have a great day, everybody. Enjoy your Saturday. If you have kids, go ahead and give them a hug.